Hey guys, what is going on today? BOJoeKO here, and welcome to a brand new Hockey Ultimate Team Collection Guide series. Now, a lot of you guys have always been asking me what is a very easy way to make pucks in NHL 14 Hockey Ultimate Team. And now one of the easiest ways I have found out recently is to complete those collections. Now, I'm going to be doing a pretty basic Hockey Ultimate Team collection guide for every single NHL team, maybe even the other teams if you guys want it, but it's just a pretty easy basic guide for you guys to follow, which I hope you guys will find both helpful, informative, and an easy way for you to get your puck total up to what you want it to be so you can buy those great players that you want for your team. So let's start off this series right, and we're going to be starting it off with one of the easiest teams in the NHL section to complete, and that would be the Florida Panthers. So let's get right into it. Okay, so for the Florida Panthers collection, there's going to be 27 players in total. 26 of them are gold, 1 silver player, 0 bronze. So out of those 27 players, there's going to be 2 goaltenders, 9 defensemen, and 16 forwards. There's also going to be 7 jerseys, 1 logo, and if you complete the entire Florida Panthers collection, you will get a collection bonus of 37,500 pucks. Now, for this specific guide and probably all future Hockey Ultimate Team collection guides, I'm only going to be listing the prices for the players, not the jerseys and the logos, just because the jersey prices are ultimately going to depend on how many of those jerseys are available on the market, and they always fluctuate in price. So for the NHL teams, obviously there's going to be those certain select jerseys that are going to cost a little bit more than the rest. So for me, I would say try to keep your jersey spending limit at least under 1,000 pucks, and the logo, you should never try to spend more than 150 pucks for an NHL's team's logo. So you try to want to follow those rules. Now, for the collection bonus, like I said, you will get a collection bonus of 37,500 pucks for completing the Florida Panthers collection. Now, what that potentially means is that collection bonus is basically going to take the role of your spending budget for this collection. So obviously there's going to be NHL teams later when we get to that there's going to have superstars that are going to be worth much more than what the collection bonus is. So what you want to do is obviously don't worry about that superstar for now, and try to spend less than the collection bonus for every other player of that collection, so you can try to make the most profit necessary. For the Florida Panthers, it's pretty easy since there's only really only one major player we have to worry about spending a lot of pucks on. So for the Florida Panthers collection, I would recommend you guys have at least about 40,000 pucks in order to start this collection and make the most out of your profit. So without further ado, let's get right into this collection and start off with the goaltenders. Okay, so for the Florida Panthers goaltender collection, we only have to worry about 2 goalies, and they would be Jacob Markstrom and Scott Clemmensen. Jacob Markstrom is a rare gold player, and Scott Clemmensen is a non-rare gold player. I would recommend that you guys try to spend between 800 to 1,000 pucks on Jacob Markstrom and 500 to 800 on Scott Clemmensen. And always as a note, these prices for every single player that will be mentioned in this guide are the active prices which I have seen on the market as of January 1st, 2014. Obviously, you can get players for cheaper than I have listed here, but you want to try to stay within this range, and obviously always want to go lower than the price. So 800 to 1K for Jacob Markstrom and 500 to 800 for Scott Clemmensen. Okay, so if we move on to the defense now for the Florida Panthers collection, there are 9 defenders which we have to collect. Dmitry Kulikov, Philippe Kuba, Ray Whitney, Mateau, Ed Jovanovski, Brian Campbell, Eric Branson, Mike Weaver, and Matt Gilroy. So the rare gold players in this collection are Kulikov, Kuba, Jovanovski, Campbell, Branson, and the non-rare golds are Whitney, Mateau, Weaver, and Gilroy. For Dmitry Kulikov, want to spend between 500 to 1K. Same thing for Philippe Kuba and Ryan Whitney. I'm sorry, not Ray Whitney. Ryan Whitney. Mateau between 500 and 900. Jovanovski between 500 and 900. Brian Campbell between 800 and 1K. Branson between 500 and 900. Mike Weaver between 400 and 800, and Gilroy between 400 and 800 as well. So obviously the only really expensive player out of this entire defensive list is Brian Campbell, who is a little bit, who may go up there into the low 1K ranges on some occasions, but you still should be able to find Brian Campbell for under the 1K mark. Okay, so now if we move on to the forward lists for the Florida Panthers, there are 16 forwards which we need to collect, 15 gold players, and the one silver player that will be troublesome for us all. So we have Scotty Upshaw, which will be between 400 and 800, Sean Bergenheim, 700 to 1K, Fleischman for the same thing, Bobby Butler, 500 to 800, Joey Crabb, 400 to 800, Thomas Kopecky, 650 to 1K, Christopher Stieg, 650 to 1K, Brad Boyes, 700 to 1K, Drew Shore, 500 to 800, Scott Gomez, 400 to 700, Sean Matthias, 400 to 700, Marcel Gotch, 400 to 700, Peter Mueller, 650 to 1K, Jesse Winchester, 500 to 1K, and Jonathan Huberdeau, 650 to 1K. So those are all the gold players. If you, in case you guys can't really determine the difference between the rare golds and the non-rare golds, the rare gold players are Scotty Upshaw, Bergenheim, Fleischman, Kopecky, for Stieg, Boyes, Shore, Mueller, and Huberdeau, and the non-rare golds are Bobby Butler, Crabb, Gomez, Matthias, Gotch, and Winchester. So now those complete all of the players on the Florida Panthers collection except one special player, which will be the most expensive player in this entire Florida Panthers collection, and that would be the only silver, and that would be Steve Pinizzotto. Now, since Steve Pinizzotto is a silver player, and since relatively all the other Florida Panther players in this collection are relatively cheap, obviously the market is going to jack up Steve Pinizzotto's price. Now, as of the market, which I looked today, I did see most of the Pinizzottos on the market were being sold between 15 to 20K. So if you can obviously find Pinizzotto for less than that amount, it's obviously you want to buy now him right away and try to sell him back on the market for a higher price. But since you're not going to be spending that much money on the Florida Panthers collection as a whole, spending between 15 and 20K for Steve Pinizzotto is actually a pretty good idea, because either way you look at it, you will still be making some sort of profit in return. So those are all the forwards, with the most expensive player obviously being Steve Pinizzotto, the only silver player of the Florida Panthers collection. Okay, so like I said back in the beginning, you want to use the collection bonus, which was 37,500 pucks, as basically your budget for this Florida Panthers collection. Now, if you add up all the lowest totals that I have listed for each of those players, not including the jerseys and the logos, the lowest amount of pucks that you probably could spend, which could even be less than this, I'm counting on it actually being less than this anyway, would be 29,100 pucks. If you, like I said, if you followed all the guides which I just laid out for you guys and bought each of those players for the lowest amount that I have listed on here, you would be spending about 29 to 30,000 pucks without buying the jerseys and the logos, which was actually a pretty good deal. Now, if you do end up probably buying nowing most of these players for the highest prices that I have listed above in the past pictures, you will be spending probably about 43 to 45K on this collection, which you will be over the collection. You will go over budget, but obviously the collection bonus which you gain back from that, and if you sell players back like Steve Pinizzotto, you will obviously make your money back. So like I said, the Florida Panthers collection is one of the easiest collections in this game, just because there's only one really expensive player in Steve Pinizzotto. Other than that, you can basically get almost every person on this team for about 500 to 900 pucks, which is a really easy profit making process. And obviously you can rent this collection back to other players and take about maybe 10,000 pucks away from the total. So thanks guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this Florida Panthers collection guide. I will be coming back very periodically with different NHL team collections. Let me know in the comments if you guys enjoyed this. If you found this guide helpful, leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe as always. And also leave in the comments section any improvements to this guide which you guys think I could do to obviously improve this video. If you want me to throw the actual hut cards in and leave maybe like a picture for each individual person on the team, leave that in the comment section below. But just leave anything in the comment section which you guys think could help, maybe be a lot more helpful for you, for this team, for any of these collections we do in the future. So like I said, hope you guys found this guide very helpful, and I will see you guys next time for another NHL team Hockey Ultimate Team collection guide. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.